beautiful when you come in now. You just sort of notice it straight away now, and it's sort of turning around. It's a lovely surprise. So before we get on to the mural, I know when you're a young kid, there you are, you're thinking, I want to be a vet, or I'd like to be an ichthyologist. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, that's
so somebody who loves fish and all, where the hell does that come from to a young person think, do you know what, fish, do it for me? Was that a parent thing, or?
I always loved fish because I had an aquarium. So I used to keep tropical fish. I used to breed them, and as I think I was a teenager, that was the way I was making my very first pocket money, from breeding fish and bringing them to the pet shops.
Wow.
Then I also had some rodents, mice, pet mice, white, black and white and black, and I was also breeding them, bringing the pet shop. It was fantastic.
So your parents, I don't know whether they were surprised by this, whether delighted.
My mom was very, very supportive, so it was actually interesting because before we got this first mouse, she was afraid of them. But she started getting used, and some stage the mouse got sick, and my mom, to my huge surprise, was able to hold her, even though she was afraid, scared, she was able to hold the mouse and just check what's going on with that little thing.
So I'm trying to guess now, your surname, how do you pronounce it? Grandowicz?
Grandowicz.
That's from Tala, is it? Or where's that name originate from?
So I'm Polish, and interestingly enough, there are only, I think, 2 people in Poland with this surname. So all the rest is in the United States.
Right,
so
wow.
The States are full of Grandowiczes, and yeah.
So that idea too, that you're there you are, you're in so in love with this, you're able to, like, oh, is that your phone? Yeah, grab that for a sec. That's all right.
That's my...
oh, that's, yes.
Yes, so...
Of course.
The paint is still wet, so I want it to...
of course, yes.
Pavement.
But I'm trying to think now, when it came to, like, were your friends surprised by your, or were they just sort of in on the ground floor and knew from this early age that this is your passion and this is your love? Like, I'm guessing that wasn't typical of a kid growing up.
So there's a little twist. So since I was really, really tiny, I was interested in the animals. I want to work with animals, do something with them. I remember I told my mom when I was 5 years old, I want to invent a vaccine against rabies, things like that. Okay.
Wow.
And then just before the college, I think I was, whatever it was, the age, I can't remember, 15, whatever, 18, sorry. Yeah. I decided to study art. So just like that, out of the blue.
Well, it's typical teenager. You go from loving fish to wanting to be a graphic designer. It's a very well-worn path.
Yes. So I studied design and art, and I absolutely loved it. So I've been working as a designer and art director for the last 22 years. But this passion for animals always somewhere in the background. So actually, I thought that I would start slowly retiring from graphic design business, and I would change my career path to do something more related to animals. So first, drawing, painting them, and then who knows, maybe I will be able to study, even though as a mature student, the options are very limited. So for example, now I was checking if I can study veterinaries. No, not for grown-ups.
Ah, wow.
So,
but that sort of transition from, obviously there's a teenage passion, you realise, well, I'll do graphic design, it's going to pay the bills and all that, but you've sort of managed to bring it back around to your first love. I don't know, that took a long time, or whether it was an overnight thing that you said, you know what, I can be a graphic designer and an illustrator, and I can specialise in animals.
Yeah, so this animal related stuff actually appeared again just a few years ago, and I had an idea for a book. And luckily enough, the very first publisher I approached with the idea, they loved the concept, so they published the book. The title is A Compelling Compendium of Irish Animals.
Well, we got to call out that doctor's name.
I forgot, Dr. Hibernica Finch.
That's it, I was trying to think of his first name. Hibernica Finch, what a great name.
Yes.
Who we should say is a fictional character, but for you and Rob McGuire, the author, it was a great way to sort of give it an overall idea.
Voice, yes. And since that, actually, I've been involved in many biodiversity-related projects. I've been illustrating information boards and doing some, art prints and things like that. So it's really nice. And I keep doing my graphic design, but now less and less I'm trying to kind of steer away. I still love it, so I take some of the projects which I find very interesting. But if possible, if I can sustain, I would like to do more of this. Well, just to give something to the community, Because when you're a graphic designer, I've been working mostly on commercial projects, so it's still I enjoy it a lot, but it's less satisfying than doing something for the community.
Well, that idea too, that you could hopefully, you are sort of making a living at doing what is really this teenage passion, this childhood passion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's a tough road or whether it's sort of been okay for you. I mean, you do, yeah.
So far, yes, because also thanks to the book, I've been doing a lot of workshops for children, so drawing workshops combined with animal-related facts. So it's kind of fun classes, fun events. And I've been doing this a lot now because of the COVID. Loads of my events have been cancelled, like around 40. So it's a crazy amount. Yeah, but yeah, I just try to not think about this. It's everything on hold. It will happen again.
Well, in the meantime, you get lovely projects like this. So
yes,
this sort of work is fantastic, and I think it'll make a huge difference to a lot of the young kids. Like there'll be more young AGAs around who would be sort of inspired to sort of know a little bit more about the sea, and the fact that you chose sea creatures, and these are especially the shy kind of creatures that you wouldn't necessarily see every day. Was that something that was presented to you? Did you sort of think of that yourself, or how did this kind of come to be?
I was just approached as a wildlife illustrator and asked me to do a mural. So I designed all this murals. So the idea, because it's a Greystones is a town, seaside town.
Sorry, nice windy day we have here, of course, in Greystones.
It's kind of a no-brainer. It should be something about, if it's animal, it should be something about marine wildlife. So I picked the animals that could be, if you're lucky, could be seen in the sea here. So I know it's extremely rare to see an orca, but in theory it's possible.
Well, these days, the way the weather's changing and the way the climate's changing, I'm sure we can see all sorts. We'll have a unicorn, I'm sure, by the end of the year. So when it comes to the mural itself, I know that you've been here since Wednesday.
Tuesday, actually. I started
Tuesday.
Early, yes, because the weather is so fabulous. I thought, okay, I have
make
to
the
do
most.
It, because I cannot paint when it rains. So
yes,
I came here one day ahead of the schedule, and
so you would hope. I don't know. We've got another third of the wall, maybe still. I don't know if you're sort of thinking it'll be another week, or if you've got a plan.
Yeah, I hope it will be done next week. So if the weather stays like that, I need let's say 4 days, and then a week after I need to varnish this, so just to protect from the UV light, because this wall is always exposed to the sunlight.
Right.
From now I know the schedule. So
yes.
From 8:30 the sun hits, like this time of the year, 8:30, and then around 5:30 it's on that side. So really all day.
Well, I know you said today too, this is Friday, that between 5 and 6 there was a plan to sort of have a cartoon thing, but you're sort of encouraging people to come down and say hello and see the work. I don't know, or would that be something that would interrupt you too much?
So this mural has been commissioned for the culture night.
Okay.
So the initial plan was to have people coming, having a look while I'm painting this, having a chat, and then for the kids there was supposed to be a big screen with the movie, with the animation screen.
Yeah. So, but you're still hopefully. I know that you said to me before the cameras roll that you hate children and you would hate them for them to come near you. But nonetheless, you're making an exception for the culture, for the event that's in it. But you're sort of, for people to come down and just see you at work is kind of a nice thing, I'm sure, especially for those kids not only interested in the sea but interested in art. It's a kind of a nice way to.
Like lots of people passing by, especially kids. They are so drawn to that. So yeah, I'm sure they will enjoy it. And I have heard so many stories from people who dive in the sea and about the creatures that they have seen. So I heard stories about the basking sharks, about the seals. Apparently seals, when they are used to you, so if you are a regular diver, they kind of recognize and they come and start biting you. It's not they're aggressive, they just want to play. It's like with dogs, like puppies. They like little biting.
Well, Newtowners do that as well. People in Newtown, they bite you when they like you. You just in case they come around, you just know that in advance. So I will say, beautiful work. We will keep an eye on. We'll take photographs of the finished product, but we'll link your website into that wonderful Mr. Hinchley's book and Mr. Finch's book, I should say. And nicely done, and good luck with the rest of it.
Thank you, Paul.